In the far reaches of the Andromeda Galaxy, aboard the interstellar research vessel Celestial Curiosity, a unique encounter was taking shape. The crew, a diverse group of scientists from across the galaxy, had embarked on a mission to study uncharted worlds and the potential life forms inhabiting them. Among them was Isla, a young biologist from Earth, whose passion for xenobiology had driven her to the stars. The Celestial Curiosity had recently landed on Thalassa 9, a planet teeming with bioluminescent flora and sprawling fungal forests, bathed in the soft glow of its twin moons. It was here that Isla met Nixara, an alien being whose species was renowned for their reclusiveness and peculiar sensory biology. Nixara was unlike any being Isla had ever studied. Her skin shimmered with a natural iridescence, reflecting the moonlight in mesmerizing patterns. Her features were delicate, almost ethereal, but it was her inquisitive nature that truly set her apart. She approached Ayla with a cautious but unmistakable curiosity, her large luminescent eyes scanning every detail of the human's presence. "Human Ayla," Nixara began, her voice a melodic whisper that seemed to harmonize with the ambient sounds of the forest. "Your kind is rare here. Why do you touch the world so gently?" Ayla smiled, extending her hand in a gesture of friendship. "We have much to learn from each other, Nixara. I'm here to understand, not to intrude." As they walked through the bioluminescent woods, Ayla explained her mission of peaceful exploration and scientific discovery. Nixara listened intently, her head tilting occasionally in a display of her fascination. The alien suddenly paused, reaching out to touch a glowing plant. The plant responded to her touch, pulsing brighter for a moment before dimming. "You seek knowledge of all things?" "Yes, all things," Ayla replied. "And I'm particularly interested in learning about your species. Your sensory experiences seem so different from ours." Nixara considered this for a moment, then extended her own hand towards Ayla. "May I?" Ayla nodded, and as Nixara's fingers brushed against her arm, a sudden shiver ran down her spine. The sensation was unexpected, a tingling that seemed to echo deeper than her skin. "Why do I shiver when you stroke me there?" Ayla asked, her voice a mix of surprise and intrigue. Nixara retracted her hand quickly, her eyes wide with concern. "Did I harm you?" "No, not at all. It's just a reaction, kind of like a reflex. It's called being ticklish. It's actually quite fascinating. It doesn't hurt, it's just unexpected." "Fascinating," Nixara echoed, her tone reflective. "Among my kind, touch is communication. It is how we share thoughts, feelings, even memories. Your reaction, is it communication too?" "In a way, yes," Ayla explained. "It communicates something about the nerves in my skin. It's not used the same way as your touch, but it tells something about how humans react to the world." Nixara seemed to ponder this new information. "I would like to learn more about this. And about you, human Ayla. And I'd like to understand more about you, Nixara. There's so much we can discover together." As they resumed their walk, the air filled with the symphony of alien nocturnal creatures, and the two beings, one human and one alien, ventured deeper into the luminescent forest, each step forging a new path in their interspecies friendship. The night on Thalassa 9 held many mysteries, but for Ayla and Nixara, it was just the beginning of their shared curiosity. As Ayla and Nixara delved deeper into the illuminated woods of Thalassa 9, the terrain began to change. The ground beneath their feet grew softer, the dense cover of bioluminescent foliage giving way to a clearing dominated by a single massive tree-like structure. Its trunk, if it could be called that, pulsed slowly with light, casting eerie shadows that danced around them. "This is the heart root," Nixara whispered, her voice filled with reverence. "It connects all life in this forest." Ayla observed the heart root with scientific fascination. "Is it a kind of neural network for the planet?" "More than that," Nixara replied, touching the surface of the heart root gently. The structure responded, its glow intensifying. "It is the memory of the planet. We, my people, can connect with it, share experiences, learn from the past." Eager to witness this interaction, Ayla asked, "Could I feel it too? Could I connect with it?" Nyxara hesitated, her eyes reflecting the starry sky above. It is not common for others non-Thalassians to interact with the heart root, but perhaps... With a nod of consent from Nyxara, Isla reached out, her fingers barely touching the glowing surface. Instantly, a flood of visions filled her mind, images of ancient Thalassian history, of wars long ended and peace long cherished. The intensity of the collective memories was overwhelming but deeply moving. As the connection broke, Ayla staggered back, awestruck. It's incredible. The depth of history, the emotions, it's all so vivid. Nyxara supported her, a look of concern etched across her features. It can be intense for those not accustomed. Are you well? I'm fine, just overwhelmed, Isla reassured her. Your people have such a profound connection to your world. It's beautiful. They sat beneath the heart root, the atmosphere thick with the raw essence of Thalassa 9. As they shared the silence, Nyxara seemed to contemplate deeply. There is a place, she finally spoke, breaking the calm. Not far from here, where the sky touches the ground. The elders say it's where the first of us learned to communicate with the heart root. Isla's eyes lit up with scientific curiosity. Could we go there? I want to understand everything about your world. Nyxara nodded, her demeanor serious. It is a sacred place. We must go with respect. The following daybreak found them trekking across a landscape that seemed to change with every passing hour. The ground shifted from soft, mossy textures to hard, crystalline structures. The sky above swirled with colors that defied description, painting the horizon with hues unseen on any human chart. As they approached the site Nyxara had described, the air itself seemed to thrum with energy. Before them lay a vast expanse where vibrant mists hovered above the ground, intertwining with the landscape in a breathtaking display of natural artistry. This is it, Nyxara said, her voice barely above a whisper. The breathing grounds. Isla set up her instruments carefully, taking readings, her mind racing with the implications of her findings. The energy readings were off the charts, suggesting that Thalassa 9 was not just alive, but vibrantly so. As they prepared to spend the night next to this alien marvel, Isla couldn't shake the feeling that she was standing on the brink of a discovery that could change not just her understanding of Thalassa 9, but of life itself in the cosmos. Under the shimmering canopy of the breathing grounds, the night enveloped Isla and Nyxara in a symphony of whispers and murmurs that seemed to emanate from the very air around them. As they camped beside the mists, Isla's dreams were filled with the whispered voices of Thalassa 9, each vision more vivid than the last, painting tales of ancient knowledge and cosmic wisdom. When morning broke, the air crisp and vibrant with the planet's life force, Nyxara guided Ayla to a lesser-known part of the breathing grounds. Here, the mists swirled in patterns that suggested intelligent design rather than random natural occurrence. Each pattern is a story, a piece of knowledge, Nyxara explained, her voice blending seamlessly into the morning's chorus of alien birdsong. Our elders can read them like books. Isla, entranced, set up her equipment to capture the phenomenon, her fingers deftly adjusting the lenses and sensors. Is it possible, she pondered aloud, that your planet not only hosts life, but is itself a form of life, a conscious entity? Nyxara watched her with a mixture of pride and intrigue. We believe Thalassa 9 is alive, yes, but your question suggests a deeper connection, a shared consciousness perhaps. As they delved into the technical aspects of their findings, a sudden shift in the atmosphere occurred. The mists began to converge rapidly, forming a dense column that spiraled skyward, pulsating with a bright, almost blinding light. Nyxara grabbed Isla's arm, pulling her back. The planet responds to us, to all things. It senses your curiosity, your equipment. It's never reacted this way before. Isla, though startled, maintained her composure, her mind racing to analyze the data streaming in real time from her instruments. It's reacting to the technology, or maybe to my presence as an alien to this world. We need to understand this reaction. It could be crucial for interspecies relations and planetary study. Deciding to minimize their technological footprint, Isla powered down her equipment, stowing it away carefully. As she did so, The column of light slowly dissipated, the mists settling back into their gentle, undulating rhythm. "Your presence here, it changes things." Nyxara spoke softly, a note of awe in her voice. "Thalassa 9 has never been explored this deeply by someone from beyond." "I'll take only what I need, no more extensive setups," Isla promised, her respect for the planet deepening. "We need to proceed with care. This planet, your home, it's teaching us new ways to interact with our surroundings." They spent the day exploring the edges of the breathing grounds, where the mists thinned out, revealing more of the planet's varied ecological biomes. Nyxara showed Isla where the luminescent fungi from the forests merged with crystalline structures that seemed to grow out of the planet's very essence. "The convergence zones," Nyxara said, gesturing towards the glowing landscape. "They are like the neural synapses of Thalassa 9, points of intense energy exchange and communication." Isla took careful, minimal scans, her every move now tempered with an acute awareness of her impact. As evening approached, they found themselves atop a small hill overlooking the breathing grounds. The setting sun cast a golden hue over the mists, and the entire planet seemed to be communicating with them, a silent, majestic entity whispering its secrets. Here, Isla set up a small, non-invasive monitor, hoping to capture the night's chorus of planetary whispers. As the stars emerged, both explorer and native sat in quiet contemplation, the boundaries of their worlds blurring into a shared experience of wonder and discovery. The night passed with the gentle hum of Thalassa 9 beneath them, the planet's pulses like the beating of a cosmic heart. As the first rays of dawn sliced through the darkness, the monitor beside Isla chirped softly, signaling a significant discovery in the data collected overnight. The patterns of energy pulsing through the breathing ground seemed to mimic neural activity, suggesting not just life, but consciousness. Isla shared her findings with Nyxara, who absorbed the information with a mixture of pride and solemnity. "This confirms our beliefs," Nyxara said, her eyes reflecting the morning light. "Our planet does more than sustain us. It guides us, feels with us." Eager to expand on her observations, Isla proposed a modest experiment. "If your planet is conscious, maybe it can respond more directly to simpler, more personal interactions. Could we try communicating with it, just as we would with one another?" Nyxara considered the proposal, then nodded. "We can try. The elders speak to the planet during the time of mists, when the energies are strongest. They prepared by meditating to align their thoughts with peaceful intentions." Nyxara instructed Isla on how to quiet her mind and project her thoughts outward, a technique the Thalassians used in their deepest rituals. Sitting among the swirling mists, they focused on projecting thoughts of harmony and inquiry towards the planet. The response was not immediate, but as the sun climbed higher, the mists around them began to move rhythmically, swirling in patterns that danced around the two figures seated in tranquility. The air vibrated with a palpable energy, and both felt a warmth spread through them, an embrace from the planet itself. "This is how we commune," Nyxara whispered, her voice barely audible over the swirling mists. "It feels our intentions." Isla, overwhelmed by the connection, felt tears prick at the corners of her eyes. It was one thing to study life. It was another to communicate with a planet, to feel it acknowledge her presence. "It's like touching the mind of the universe," she breathed out, her scientific facade momentarily forgotten in the face of such profound interaction. They spent several hours in communion with Thalassa 9, the planet revealing its history in flashes of emotion and memory that were as vivid as they were enigmatic. Isla took careful mental notes, her scientist's mind working to categorize and understand the flow of information through the emotional and psychological impact it carried. As the sun set, painting the sky in streaks of orange and purple, they reluctantly broke their connection. The mists settled, and the energy pulses slowed, as if the planet itself were drawing back into a restful state after the profound interaction. "This was a monumental step, Isla," Nyxara said as they gathered their minimal equipment. "Your findings could change how we view not just Thalassa 9, but all planetary bodies." Isla nodded, her mind already racing with the implications of their discoveries. We need to prepare a detailed report, something that can be shared not just within the scientific community, but with everyone. This could redefine our place in the cosmos. Together, they walked back to their base camp, the stars twinkling above them in a sky that felt less foreign now. Thalassa 9 had accepted Isla, not as a visitor, but as a participant in its ancient, ongoing story. As they walked, they discussed how to present their findings, how to share this newfound understanding with others who might never feel the planet's pulse beneath their feet or its thoughts winding through their minds. The responsibility was immense, but so was the opportunity to show that every world, no matter how alien, had stories to tell, voices to be heard, lives to be acknowledged. Back at their base camp, Isla and Nixara devoted themselves to synthesizing their experiences and data into a cohesive analysis. The task was daunting: how to convey the profound depth of a planetary consciousness in scientific terms. Yet, Isla's training and Nixara's insights formed a bridge between hard data and the esoteric knowledge of the Thalassians. As they worked, a message arrived from the Celestial Curiosities Command. A delegation of scientific leaders and diplomats from various galactic communities would soon arrive. They were coming to witness firsthand the groundbreaking findings on Thalassa 9. The news added pressure, but also validation for their work, and spurred them on with renewed vigor. Isla fine-tuned the sensory equipment to better demonstrate the planet's responses, ensuring the visiting delegation could experience it without the extensive meditative practice she and Nixara had undertaken. Meanwhile, Nixara prepared to translate the more intuitive aspects of their findings into a form that others could grasp, bridging the gap between her world's spiritual interpretations and the empirical evidence Isla provided. As the day of the delegation's arrival dawned, the camp was abuzz with activity. Ships descended gently onto the surface, their designs as varied as the beings they carried. Isla felt a surge of excitement mixed with nervousness. The array of species disembarking was a testament to the galaxy's diversity, each member eager and curious about the revelations to be shared. Nixara stood beside Isla, her presence a calming influence. "They will see what we see, feel what we feel," she reassured her. The demonstration took place at the breathing grounds. Isla explained the technical aspects, presenting charts and live data feeds that illustrated the unusual patterns of energy and consciousness emanating from the planet. Then, Nixara led the group in a simple communal ritual, inviting them to feel the planet's pulse, to connect even in the most basic way. The response from the delegation was mixed. Awe from some, skepticism from others. A Zephyrian scientist, her scales flickering with iridescent colors, voiced a concern that resonated with many. Could this not be a natural anomaly, an unusual but purely physical phenomenon? Isla addressed this directly, pulling up comparative data from other studied planets. "What we observe here doesn't match any known planetary behaviors. The responses are too consistent, too synchronized with our interactions." A Moroccan diplomat, his feathered mane bristling with interest, leaned forward. "And you believe this planet is sentient, aware of us?" "Yes," Nixara took over. "Thalassa 9 is not just alive. It possesses a consciousness. It communicates, responds, and even understands on a level we are just beginning to comprehend." The demonstrations concluded with a direct interaction session, where delegates used the sensory equipment to experience brief, controlled communications with the planet. The expressions of wonder and contemplation on their faces as they removed the equipment spoke volumes. In the debriefing that followed, the delegation discussed potential implications. Ethical considerations were paramount: how to interact with a sentient planet without causing harm. The scientific ramifications were vast, suggesting new fields of study into planetary consciousness and its impact on colonization and exploration policies. As the delegation prepared to leave, promising support and further inquiry, Isla and Nixara watched the ships ascend into the starlit sky. They had achieved something monumental, not only in scientific terms, but in fostering a deeper understanding between vastly different beings. In the quiet that followed the departure, Isla turned to Nixara. "What happens now?" Nyxara smiled, her gaze fixed on the horizon where night was once again settling over Thalassa 9. Now, we learn. We explore together and we ensure that this knowledge changes how we all view not just this planet, but all life. Together they turned back to their camp, ready to document further and explore the vast living cosmos that Thalassa 9 represented. With each step, the planet beneath them hummed, a constant reminder of the ongoing dialogue between the stars and their inhabitants. In the weeks following the delegation's visit, Isla and Nyxara's work became the cornerstone of a new initiative. Universities and research centers across the galaxy began to study planetary consciousness, using Thalassa 9 as a primary example. But with this scientific boom came a profound responsibility. Isla, now appointed as a liaison between Earth and Thalassa 9, found herself at the heart of drafting guidelines for ethical interactions with sentient planets. Nyxara, recognized by her own people as a pioneer, took on the role of ambassador, not only on Thalassa 9, but also among the Galactic Council. She spoke on behalf of her planet, ensuring that its voice, though non-verbal, was heard in the halls where decisions about space exploration and environmental impact were made. Together, they organized symposiums and workshops, inviting experts in xenopsychology, environmental ethics, and astrobiology to contribute to a growing body of knowledge. They stressed the importance of approaching exploration with a mindset of humility and respect, principles that started to reshape policies galaxy-wide. One crisp morning, as the two of them walked through the now familiar terrain of the breathing grounds, they discussed the upcoming conference scheduled to take place on Thalassa 9. It would be the first of its kind, hosted on a planet that participants would learn to communicate with directly during their stay. "The conference will be groundbreaking," Isla said, checking the biosensors that had been installed throughout the area. "We're not just discussing theories. We're living the experience with the planet as a participant." Nyxara nodded, her eyes scanning the vibrant mists that had become a symbol of her world's unique presence. "It's a testament to how far we've come, from isolation to integration." Their preparations took on a new urgency when an unexpected message arrived. A new planet had been discovered, exhibiting early signs of sentience similar to Thalassa 9. The scientific community was abuzz, and many looked to Isla and Nyxara for guidance on how to approach this new world. "This is why our work is vital," Nyxara said, as they drafted their preliminary recommendations. "What we establish here sets the precedent for all future encounters." The conference was a convergence of minds like no other. Delegates from different planets, scientists, diplomats, philosophers, gathered, each bringing unique perspectives but sharing a common goal. Under the soft glow of Thalassa 9's skies, they connected not only with each other, but with the planet itself, engaging in dialogues facilitated by the techniques Isla and Nyxara had developed. On the final day, as the participants stood together, hands joined in a symbolic circle around the heart root, the air vibrated with the collective energy of myriad species united in purpose. The heart root pulsed brightly, a sign of the planet's acknowledgement and approval. "The path forward is clear," Ayla addressed the gathering, her words echoing softly. "We walk it together, as learners, as guardians, and as friends of the cosmos." Nyxara's voice followed, blending seamlessly with Ayla's. "Let this be our legacy, that we live not as conquerors, but as part of a greater consciousness that spans the stars." As the delegates departed, their spirits uplifted and their minds expanded. Ayla and Nyxara watched the skies, knowing that the connections formed here would ripple outward, influencing countless lives and worlds. The quiet of the evening settled around them, the planet humming its soft, eternal song. In that moment, they knew that their initial journey had blossomed into a legacy of understanding and respect. A true dialogue between the stars, promising a future where all life was valued and understood in its deepest, most profound essence.